Ketchup. 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 Huh. I'm in way over my head.
Good evening and welcome to the Joust. My name is Naggy. I'm joined once again, actually, been a little period of time.
Yeah, no, it's been a bit.
It's been a little bit. Joined by Mr. Sam Cupid. Sam,
thank you.
Thank you so much for sitting in.
No worries.
In Liam's chair.
Yeah, no, grand final day.
Yeah.
The fine china has been packed away.
That's right.
It's not our china. So our china is not playing. Our china is not being served upon. We are watching someone else play some game that we, we're mildly ambivalent to.
Yeah, I think so. I think those fine china areas of the house. I'm moving into adulthood, and I definitely don't have a cabinet filled with things that I shan't touch or visitors shan't touch.
No.
My house is basically an open field.
Touch whatever you
everything.
want.
It's all just from Kmart. There's nothing fine about it.
What's the most untouchable thing in your house?
My cat. But he lets you know about that.
Yeah, right.
He does all the policing of touch or no touch. But when I was growing up or visiting like friends' houses, they would say, "Oh, this is the general room, and this is the good room." And you can't touch anything in the good room. If you're playing, dart guns, I don't think they even have those anymore.
Oh, the Nerf guns?
Well, Nerf was a bit later.
Oh, no, with the plastic with the suction cap on the...
Jam them in.
Put a pen in there, fire the pen.
And then, they're spring loaded. But it was like, keep it out of the good stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Don't keep that in the fun sort of cheap area with the couch and the television, but don't touch the television. But it was a box at the time.
Have we drifted out of our class of people now?
I think so.
Do they not? They still do it today, but we just are not around while they do it.
Well, we drifted
we're not
down.
A part of that.
No, we're definitely not a part of that at all.
Like plastic on the lounge. I haven't seen plastic on the lounge.
Look around you.
Yeah. We are
I
certainly
put plastic on a lot of stuff in here.
Yeah, but what are we protecting these days? It's the throwaway culture.
That's true.
Nothing's important, and certainly not any sort of crockery. That's caught out. I don't even have any guests at my house, let alone times to bring out the nice crockery.
No, I have the Island of Misfit Toys in my cupboard.
No, that's right.
It's just, everyone's their own unique creature. Everyone's a yassin.
Please don't open a cupboard that you're not aware of what's in it, because you might get collapsed with just junk.
Yeah.
Junk might flow out of it.
Good old junk drawer.
Yeah.
I like to have 3 or 4 junk drawers.
The most hidden thing that I've got in my house is just a big crate of DVDs. I'm hoping one day that I could bring them back out. I don't even own a DVD player.
Well, how about this for psychopathic behavior for myself? I had a huge DVD collection, and I thought I'd transfer the actual DVD parts to sleeves. So I just have, a couple of big things with sleeves in it. Then I just had this cardboard box with DVD cases with no DVDs in them. And they just followed me around like the bloody stone of Sith.
So you've reduced.
Sorry, okay.
So you've reduced the volume of DVDs by putting them all in sleeves.
Yes.
But then the cases still exist.
Overall, I think it's a net loss in terms of just the space I've actually saved. I think I've just made it slightly bigger and shared it around more.
More plastic.
Yeah, more plastic.
In different forms.
The box was cardboard.
Was the problem that you couldn't commit to throwing the cases out?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had them in the sleeve so I could watch them, and then, streaming killed that, and then here we are, just carrying it around like a rock of Sisyphus.
Sisyphus pushing out the rock up the mountain.
Yeah.
It's a Sisyphean task.
Yeah. See, that's how well I got it, yeah. But still, after I got a couple of nods and a couple of yeses, didn't know what I was talking about.
Didn't know what we're talking about. No, not the slightest. But you see...
The Stone of Triumph.
The Stone of Triumph. I'm used to Liam sitting there, and I rarely know what he's talking about. I simply just nod. That's the whole point of the pod.
Right.
I nod away until he stops talking.
At the end of the day, I'm just some dickhead in a rocking chair, mate.
Speaking
That's all I am.
of dickheads in chair, Liam, but no Sam, it gives me great pleasure to welcome our musical guest, fresh from his tour of the Tasman Sea, our fantastic musician for this week, Mr. Sad Kid Giphy.
Isn't it iconic? Don't you think? It's fucking late on grand final day. There's 2 teams
Lovely.
Isn't it iconic? Sam, we've after the full year of majority New South Wales teams and even some teams from New Zealand, we've found ourselves with the two Queensland heartlands coming together in the Brisbane Broncos and the Melbourne Storm.
The very South Brisbane Melbourne Storm.
The very, very South Brisbane Melbourne Storm. And, like two teams that you spend mostly hating because they have that allegiance with Queensland origin, as well as just you're sick of seeing Brisbane Broncos win, even though their wins. I know they had 2023, but
even if they had a bad time, it still wasn't enough.
No, they haven't won since 06.
Wallow, you dogs.
Yeah, they always complain. They say, why are we so successful? We haven't won a comp.
Yeah, exactly.
If anything, it's a real sad light on our beloved Newcastle Knights to know that you could
again,
to
Naggy.
be
Come on, man.
so successful, yet so falling short of winning a comp. With only a mere 5 years away from our last win in 01. They're in 06. Then that seems like an absolute age.
I think we're now... It's just Parramatta are the saddest bastards of the competition, apart from the freaks that haven't won anything.
Yeah.
But we don't talk about them. They're
No,
gonna
no,
get
no.
one. And as soon as they do, they're ahead of us anyway. So we're actually scared of them.
We haven't recaptured. That's the problem, is the recapturing of the winning ways.
Well, it's like getting the spoon. Like every year they add a team, it's just a new depth you can reach. You know,
Yes,
It's not the
yeah.
basement digs deeper.
You think 16th is bad?
Yeah.
Wait till you try 17th.
So we just go further down that list. The more teams that haven't won a comp win a comp. And
Yes,
that'll
yeah.
probably be the Warriors next. I don't see the Titans ever winning anything.
No, they'll be out before they win anything. I think that's our only really blessing in this world. Has been like, well, at least we're supporting a team that had success once.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Titans will drop out, and then they'll come back in as the
Gold Coast transients. I reckon that'll get everyone on board because no one stays there long enough. So give them something they can actually support while they're in there. Like, I'm not here for long.
Yeah.
The team is a guy that's not here for very long.
Well, I've started to think about the Newcastle Knights, thinking in my lifetime, I don't know how many years I have left, whether I will ever see the Newcastle Knights win a comp at all. Like it's, I've seen a couple.
Yeah.
I was young, and I think, I can't wait to do this again, and I might not ever see it again.
You know, it's only, another generation away now.
Yeah.
You know, we could, we've learned the lessons of letting our children go, and now we're thinking of keeping them.
Yeah.
And so the next generation of children, that's our grand final year. That's our window, man. Our window is a lifespan of the child that is yet to be born.
At least if a child is born tomorrow,
Yes.
they have their whole life to look and think, hey, I might live to see a Newcastle Knights premiership victory. Like for us, it's like we have it, but it's a distant memory, and we can barely.
Why does it sound like you're handing the baton to this newborn kid? You're about to just walk off a
Take
bridge.
it?
I was going to say, are you okay?
Yeah, it does sound a little bit. And if you're out there and you're having these thoughts, it's okay. We will win again.
Yeah.
But just I don't know when it will be.
I thought you were about to drop a helpline.
I was going to say.
0414.
So 542. He can repair anything as well as your mental health.
This week on the Fixes.
Yeah, we're fixing
Depression.
depression. We're all suffering a little bit from it, and I tell you what, something that we haven't touched a lot on this year, Sam, has been the NRLW. Now I know it's come in, only about 6 or 8 weeks ago. It hasn't been around a long time, the competition, in terms of the 2025 comp, but we've been bleeding out from our success in 2023 and 2022 and 2023. Is that right, isn't it? Yeah, that sounds right. That we were the best women's team on earth, and it felt good that the Newcastle Knights were doing that.
Yes.
And we were hoping for sustained success, like Penrith-style 4-year runs, if you will. But we've been bleeding talent. And
ever since we let Uncle Ron go. Right?
Yeah,
Yes,
basically,
poor old
yeah.
Ron.
We let Uncle
We
Ron.
want Ron back.
Yeah, and then we lost Johnson to the Sharks. And then
Upton went back to the
went
Broncos.
to the
Upton went
Broncos.
back to the Broncos, which
Southwell Senior went back to the Dragons.
Yes.
Yeah. We heard a bit less that she went back to the Broncos, because going back to the Broncos, going away from, I can sort of see it.
it's
But if you're
fine.
from here, but then now we've lost the other bloody Johnson. She's only 20 years old.
Southwell, yeah.
Sorry,
yes,
the other Southwell.
Jesse Johnson.
Jesse Johnson. She
got killed by
That's
Jesse.
what I called her. That's how much of a friend she was. Jesse Southwell,
Yeah, no.
the halfback, has decided to go to the Brisbane Broncos.
It's disgusting behaviour, really, Naggy. It's really disappointing too. Just in terms of just like now the NRLW seems to be putting all their eggs into 2 baskets.
2 baskets. That's
And
all
they're
they
like,
need.
so we're
Yeah.
going to have a 2-basket competition.
This is already a competition that's basically dominated by the Roosters and the Broncos. Surprise, surprise. The 2 money teams, if you will,
Yes.
from the men's comp. They've duplicated, and they say, guess what? The women's comp. These teams got money too.
It's that trickle-down economics.
Yeah.
I always told you it was a good thing.
It trickles ones down to Roosters, and it trickles the rest of it trickles from Brisbane. That's all it trickles to.
Up from the horse, down from the chook.
And it trickles right past the Newcastle Knights.
Yeah, no, there's a nice like estuary that just drifts.
Yeah, just around. That's the Hunter River. It takes it around. We say, what about our talent? They said, it's gone. You had it once before. And look, Tamika Upton has proven herself to be, again, the best player in the women's league.
Yeah, I know. Like, yeah, no, as the women have done well to equal how depressing the men's season was.
Yeah.
So in that respect, I like to see that we're together as a club.
Only after.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's like everyone's together. You know?
And Southwell seems like she's been there for so long.
Oh yeah, she's
But
a baby.
She's 20 years old.
Yeah, no, she started like just as a, you know.
They actually signed her when she was 15 before they even had a women's side.
That's how much we can never say. Oh, we let her go. We got her so early, and we said, "Have the world." We've let go of Upton. We've let go of Johnson. We've got the rest of our salary cap to devote. Oh, she's gone.
Yeah, no.
Oh, she's gone. And
Yeah.
how did that happen? The door was swinging already as she
Well,
walked
you know,
out.
that's the thing. One club, let the juniors go.
That's all
Let them go. Let them
Let 'em
fly.
go.
You know.
Is this success early on, Sam? That's pillaging our team, or is this that there's greater things beyond the Hunter?
Well, if you disregard all the years before 1997,
Yes, and I do. Yeah.
I guess you should start in 98, but let's just keep 97 in there. Then, you know, the competition is young,
Yep.
nights are good,
Yes,
then they get found out and all
They
the money
do.
goes elsewhere.
they all go. They all live.
And now we've reached the same point in,
Yeah.
the,
We
in
have-
the women's game.
Once in a
Generation are
generation.
allowed to be a good when the thing is young and no one, you know, it allows the limitation,
No one pays
it's like-
attention
yeah,
until
no one
they. So the once in a generation halfback potentially. We're talking about Southwell, or are we talking about Andrew Johns? Leaves the club, retires from the club, whatever it is, no longer playing for the club.
Yeah.
Does this end success, or does this make us dive deeper into recruitment?
Well, if we consult the men, straight after that, who's Danny Badiris? So
Yeah.
Olivia Higgins is going to turn into Danny Badiris
Yes.
and lead us out of the doldrums.
Oh, yeah, and she'll get the Dalium herself.
Yep, Captain New South Wales.
Captain New South Wales. Of
Yeah.
course she will. Yeah, we do have Clydesdale, of course.
Yeah,
but, you
Steve
know-
Simpson.
Yeah, Steve Simpson. Everything has to be. These are athletes within their own right, but I have to say there are comparisons that have to be made.
I'm hoping that Jesse Southwell does a reverse Upton, goes to the Broncos, wins 2 competitions, then comes back.
Comes back.
Yeah, no, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. Surely, that's, you know, come home. Everyone come home.
Yeah.
Can
Come
we
back.
recall all our juniors? You know, like in Age of Empires, when you hit the button and all your civilians ran back into your thing?
They make
Can we
it
just
sound
do
like,
that?
like something like that.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
everyone comes
Oh,
back.
they're just like, and then everyone just comes back.
Yeah.
So, you know, all our boys like Payne Huss, welcome back, you Warners Bay, Woodbury,
No, he's a Woodbury Warrior.
Woodbury Warrior.
Warrior. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit the button. Peter Parr, hit the button.
Hit the button.
Hit the button, Peter.
Right
It's
man for the
time.
town.
It's crisis time. Sometimes it's hit the nuke. You got to turn the key, hit the button. You have to have him, Phil Gardner. They both got equal keys. They got to turn them at the same time. They hit the red button.
It's like the start of Get Smart when they're going down
You
into
have to go
the...
there. Shoots down. That's all that has to happen. The gates are closing. Please help us, Peter. This is your time to shine. We're in absolute turmoil. We just got the spoon, and our best player's been ripped from the women's side. Our last thing of success. Tamika Upton, again, getting the, what's the medal called?
They still call it Dahlia Medal.
Oh, really? Okay.
Just like how they call the Roosters still.
How
I mean, what are
da-
we doing here, people?
how-
Cowboys?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah,
What's happening here?
The Sydney City Hens.
Yeah,
yeah.
the Chooks. Just, you go straight Chook.
Yeah, Chooks.
You go Chook. Cowgirl sounds, you know, I don't know.
I
That's,
think the
They're all
Eels
chickens.
actually have a lady eel mascot,
Okay. All
which
right.
I don't know.
They've gone out. They've gone out their
I'm
own.
just saying. No, I'll get a picture. I'll get a picture of it and I'll justify that.
I always thought eels were sort of, I don't know, asexual. I didn't realize they were that they had these.
yeah,
are
I thought it was
male
just a
eels.
male on one end and a lady on the
The
other,
other
and they
end,
just
and they flop
turn around
tails
and they
together.
kiss and
yeah. They kiss, of course, that's our eels.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. We have the eels kissing right now.
Wow, there we go. See, this is what I thought. Except they're connected below the frame of that photo.
Yeah. We got the shot of the eels kissing. If we looked at that,
Wow.
This is how male and eel males make new eels.
Look at that.
It's a bit like Mr. Bighead from Rocco's Modern Life a little bit.
Yeah,
Except blue.
Yeah, blue.
But
blue
it's,
Rocco.
laying the lippy on a bit thick.
Would, if we went all,
the lippy on a bit.
yeah, this year's lipstick.
If you can't sexualize a lady eel,
Go on.
What's the world come to?
dot.
Ellipses.
Make up your own ending to that sentence.
No, but fleeing from a sinking ship, of course, this is what's happening to the Newcastle Knights in the NRLW.
But we'll be fine, Naggy.
It'll be fine.
Let's just, positive thoughts.
Yeah.
And we extend our positive thoughts to that star of the movie Critters, James Tedesco.
James Tedesco, the star of the movie Critters, of course, winning the Dally M for the second time not in a row, but the second time for his career, and this probably elevates him to that kind of caliber player that he has been known to be as this multi-premiership winner. But what brings my attention to James Tedesco, Sam, is not all friends. It's not all warm and sunshine and rainbows.
Yes.
Because James Tedesco has decided to sit out of this year's Australian team. Now, you might say, good on him for doing it. Blah, blah, blah. Why doesn't he? He's going to his brother's wedding.
Yeah.
Now, you might think just on the cusp of it, I want to go to my brother's wedding. Hell, I want to go to his brother's wedding. Why can't I also opt out of the Australian team? If we remember back 12 months ago, 1 year, if you will, one Christian year, we remember that Kalen Ponga also around this time said, hey, I'm deciding to opt out of the Australian team selection. We received, as a Newcastle club, we were lambasted, Sam. They said there has to be sanctions put up against Kalen Ponga. We can't let him. There'll be fines. It's the greatest honour playing for Australia.
We should suspend him from future NRL games for even thinking about it.
He was facing suspension. And so Kalen said, hang on. Whoa. All right, I'll put myself up for selection again. Wasn't selected. Now, why this is important, it's not just because two players decided to do this. This is also a fullback that probably won't make the Australian team. Now, this James Tedesco is also a fullback that won't make the Australian team. He's also the Dally M medal winner. And he's decided to opt out of the team, of the tour, because of 1 day wedding. Now, I know weddings can sometimes go 2, maybe 3 days, depending on how far you push the boat out.
Yeah.
But
This isn't the King of Samoa getting married.
there's the pomp and
This
the
is probably
pageantry.
Steve Tedesco. I'm just going to have to guess.
Stephen Tedesco. Of course, he's great. It's great
Little
brother.
Stevie.
Yeah, but at the same time, is there any calls for James Tedesco, the best player of the year, to be sanctioned?
Matthew, sorry.
Matthew
We just got it
Tedesco.
in from the Boffins. It is Matthew Tedesco.
Matty Tedesco.
Yeah.
Matty Teddy. And then look,
Matty Steve Tedesco.
we wish him the best to be married,
Yeah,
and
totally.
we want your brother to be there. But can we also say how unfair it's been on our players like Kalen Ponga, who
poor
makes the
Kalen.
same decision, who just says, "Oh, my body's sore, I need a rest. I don't actually want to play for Australia." They say, "You did what?" And then they just they roll him over a stump, and they just whip him again and again. Leave the poor boy alone.
And then the hot tar.
The hot tar pours over, and then the feathers.
And the cage comes down.
The cage comes down completely. And they put him out of his misery. They say, "Kalen, your time on this earth is done." They are so willing to rattle the sabres against the team like the Newcastle Knights, but they wouldn't dare do it against the Roosters.
Not the bloody Chooks.
No, not the bloody Chooks. Let Tedesco go, they say. And this may be possibly the weak, soft-handed approach from Kevin Walters, the man.
These are farmers' hands. Wait, no, farmer hands are good hands. City boys.
He's been counting money his whole life. He's fallen ass backwards into this job. He doesn't know what he's doing. That was Mal Meninga that said Kalen should be sanctioned. But Kevin
I
said,
take all your points, Naggy. I applaud you for saying that.
Kevin says play on. Tedesco, he was never going to be picked in the side regardless.
Yeah.
Move on.
And can we? And just once again, like we're talking about a guy. I agree with you. It's Dylan Edwards or Reece Walsh.
That's right.
And
As it was last year.
yeah, like the world made up their mind and said, no more representative footy for you, Teddy, until there's a death in the family or a plane goes down.
Yeah, apparently the Dally M means nothing to these people.
Yeah. Well, it means nothing at all. Like him, Nico Hines, KP.
KP. Apparently. Well, has KP also opted out for this year? I don't know.
Well, it's just like I guess my point is more about Dalian. What are we doing here?
What are we
Like,
doing?
Who are we awarding this thing? Two of us, Sheck. You got it that year.
You
doing
did.
just the same thing that the Warriors doing. Being a completely ineffectual side, but Roger was touching it 400 times a game
Yep.
and running 300 meters. And everyone was like, wow,
Wow.
God, he's good.
God.
He's the reason they're there on the ladder. It's like, no, their style of play is dog shit, and he's a big part of what they're doing. Yeah, we're going to reward him because he's the only one doing anything, and they won enough games, so you get the medal.
He's a
The
big-
whole thing is stupid.
As
man.
long as he's a big chunk of the dog shit, he's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just got all these. It's basically a usage award. It's
Yeah.
just like you use the more ball than anyone else. These people that are giving out these votes are looking down at their phone and looking up and like, oh, he's got the ball again.
Yeah,
Do it
yeah.
again for another 15 minutes. Oh, look at that, Nico, still going.
Who cares? Yeah, it really is just
Give it a medal.
it's basically done by people that aren't really paying attention,
Yeah.
and there's too many votes given to people that don't count.
You know, you
Yeah.
need to find 3 David Middletons.
Yeah.
They get to do it.
They are just stats driven.
Everyone
I think.
gets a mark every game.
Yeah,
At the
yeah.
end of the season, what's the number?
Yep.
Because that way you know, if
Who's
Payne
run the
Haas-
most meters?
Payne
who's-
Haas on the weekend
Yeah.
gets a 3. But,
Yeah.
you know, Ben Hunt, say he had a really great game.
Yep.
Suddenly he only gets a 2, even though he had as good a game. But then
Yep.
you got to mark him down. Not to mention the 4th, the best dude.
Mm.
Suddenly no one cares anymore.
Are these people watching on television getting caught up in the story?
Oh,
Like,
of course. Yeah, Buzz. How about that stuff with Buzz and Madge?
Oh,
Isn't
yeah.
that hilarious?
Oh well, he says he's not. He was always a fan. He never said any bad word against him.
God.
He had an active campaign against the man. He wanted him to be, dragged across the coals in
Yeah.
Brisbane, and said
Is
no.
Buzz making an effigy in his room of Michael McQuire and burning it just like, fail at the semis.
Like,
Fail.
and, yeah,
Nothing.
And
Now
to,
he's just going to eat shit. It's
to Madge's credit, he's done the full turnaround of being a rejected, not a rejected NRL coach, but a rejected NRL coach from the Tigers.
Yeah.
And then, which
Yeah.
is usually the arse end of rugby league.
Yeah, Tales of Tiger Town.
Yeah, like no team lets go of a player from the Tigers, and then he goes on to great success. But a coach from the Tigers, the person's in charge of it all. So he decides. They said no more. They get the car park interviews. He's walking to the car, and he basically says, "Please fuck off." But look, he says, "Oh look, I'm really happy with the car." Bye bye. Gets in the car, pulls away, and then it goes on to winning the Test series for New Zealand, the New South Wales series. And then
Makes the grand final.
he makes the fucking grand final.
I know.
How the fuck has he done it?
And like, especially now, you look at that Origin win last year. It's like it's not hard to get the Blues to care for 2 out of 3 games.
Yeah.
And he managed to do it.
Managed to do it. Did it well. Match, come back, please.
Come on,
And
man.
look, Kevy was only ever 1 year, like after his grand final, and then he lost it, and then the next year
Yeah.
he found himself sacked.
Well,
So-
at the start of the season, I thought it was going to be a Brisbane Penrith grand final, just because when Brisbane got all those signings, you just look at that team and you're just like,
They're quite good.
they got to be good.
Yeah, they got to be good.
And the fact that Kevy, I know he didn't have Ben Hunt last year, but still, they had injuries or whatever, but everyone has injuries.
Well, even
And he
starting
just drove it into a cliff.
Even starting from the year, and they had Ezra Mann being suspended for 9 games because
Yeah.
he broke every road rule imaginable. I think having an accident while on cocaine, no licenses. I think as well as he had his head out the sunroof.
Yeah,
He was asking for it. He was firing a gun, I believe.
He was driving it like the Flintstones as well. I heard. Just feet on tarmac.
Just running. That was his only break, slamming into other cars. And so it was. You think surely this person can't go on to success, but here he is in the grand final team.
Yeah.
It's you think it's going to be an interesting choosing even for Mr. Kevin Walters himself, Mr. Failing Upwards, feet facing the sky, falling upwards. Sorry, falling upwards, failing upwards.
Yeah, from
falling
the-
upwards.
yeah,
It's
fall-
the same thing.
Yeah, no, yeah.
We're all talking about
Always
the same
twirling,
thing.
always twirling.
Always twirling. But it was interesting to see how the final series really came about because.
Yeah.
Of course, we had teams like the Canberra Raiders drop out in straight sets. The teams like the Bulldogs drop out in straight sets. And then coming into the... Sorry, Josh, you're doing something with the photo. Teams like the Sharks all became... It's like, oh, maybe the Sharks can do it. They're running on a bit of a finals hope. Come up against Melbourne Storm, fail.
Yeah.
Fail. And we were like, oh, of course.
Business as usual, yeah.
They could never do it, even though that game was penalised to all hell.
Oh, yes. Well, they grubby little fingers.
Grubby little fingers came in.
Grubby
Mr.
little fingers.
Mr. Klein got his grubby little fingers in there, as well as the Bulldogs going from number 1 in the competition for half the season and even probably 2/3 of the season, then collapsing downwards to go out in straight sets. It does feel somewhat good being a Newcastle Knights supporter, knowing that, yes, the Newcastle Knights came last, Didn't touch the final series, but hey, neither did the Bulldogs, neither did the Canberra
Yeah,
Raiders.
we didn't want to be a part of it.
No,
We want to be as far away from it as we possibly could be.
But I think the biggest thing happening going to the final series, of course, the sad Panther
Yeah, you know.
of the end of the dynasty. When
I was sad to see the dynasty die. Were you sad to see the dynasty die?
the Panther come to rest. Look, there's a lot of New South Wales
It's
players.
not over according to the Clearys.
Yeah.
It's not over.
Yeah, but if the actual show Dynasty got cancelled and then it came back like in a bunch of years later, would you say, oh, they're just continuing with it picked up? Or,
Yeah,
or is it a new show? It's
bit
like
of
new
gap.
Frasier. I mean, what are we doing here?
I think it's a bit of a new Frasier. They can't capture the magic.
Yeah, exactly.
Of the first series.
Come back, David Hyde Pierce.
Yeah. Recast. It's not quite the same.
Yeah, no, AI Martin.
Yeah.
AI Eddie.
AI Eddie.
Our show.
Maybe the dog thought it was real the whole time. We don't know.
I actually heard about Eddie from Frasier that he always, if you watch the show, he's always looking off frame because
Yeah.
he's always locking eyes with his trainer because he's like just the whole time.
Just
Anything does is
waiting for cues.
So he's not like in the scene. So he's actually
Yeah.
kind of a bad actor.
Yeah, well, it's the same as what it's the same as what Bulldog was doing as well. The actor as well. He's just also waiting for his trainer. They say shout. He goes over. so they
It stinks.
They had two trainers there, but it was a wonderful series in its original form, but it's not so good in its recreated form. We'll see if the Panthers can do it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm hoping for your new Frasier Panthers.
I have been working hard on the computers.
Oh, wow.
I have been tinkering away on the keyboard. I have been typing and saying, please help us with all this AI help.
Yeah.
Can we predict how the Knights can get out of this spoon slump?
Enough data out there.
There's the data. We have much greater minds than you and I, Sam, working on this. We have walls of computers. That we have been typing data in and saying, will the Knights win another spoon in the next 25 years? Now we have two results. Two results from two different prompts.
Wow.
One says yes, but in 2028 and never again for the 22 years after that. And
I'll take it.
and I'll take that. I think that sounds pretty good. This
What a
is
drive-by on PNG, by the way, from
yeah.
ChatGPT.
PNG comes in, a couple of spoons in there, but we don't see the Knights ever again after 2029. But then I said, that's not good enough. I typed it into another AI generator.
Yeah.
And they said, yes, you will get it once more in 2034,
Ooh.
I think,
Take
is
that.
what that tells us. And but then, no, not 2034, 2034, but then not again until 2050
Ooh.
and beyond. We don't know. So one time in the next 25 years, according to one AI, or one time in the next 25 years. And I tell you what, I like those odds.
I like those odds too.
I think finally, thank you. Thank you, Mr.
I
James.
welcome the computers.
I welcome the
If they're going to
computers.
bring information like this, I welcome the computers.
Bring in the computers. Say, please give us more great information after winning after the last 10 years. 40% of the spoons. Please give us only one of the next 25, and I don't know fractions.
No.
But I hope.
But no, you
They
don't,
are-
you've got a gut feel. That's
Yeah.
all fractions are.
Now, they also says we won't win a premiership, but hey, when you're at the bottom, being off the bottom means a lot.
Yeah, no. And they say the only way is up, but then they add teams.
Yeah.
So
Especially, they did put notes in that second AI, and
Yeah.
they did say
Yeah.
that it will be another spoon in 2034 after a short but competitive run. And I think that warms my heart.
Oh, no.
Just as a short but competitive run. Oh, that doesn't just buoy the spirit, Sam.
the four most delicious words in the English language, strung back to back, Naggy. Who would believe it?
We're going to take a short break, but to play us out, of course, is our musical guest for this week, Mr. Sad Kid Giphy.
Spoon days are over. The spoon days are gone. Computer calculations, they answer to no one. Atkins overclimb. I'm sure that he'll do fine until it reach full time. And if he toes the line, 'cause in the semi-fine, Klein had a real bad time. Atkins overclimb.
Thank you, Mr. Giphy. It's sure is Atkins over Klein. Now, this was something that really came up like very quickly up to our window, Sam. That it was meant to be Ashley Klein as the premier referee. Now,
The round head of the law, as it were.
yeah, I said early in the season when Klein got all 3 origins, why are we doing this to our referees? We have such a plethora of referees, but we choose one to be our premier referee, and then we just criticize the man forever. Origin's a great example because we have 3 games, and we give them all to one referee, and they say it's for consistency, but it's like, it's not really consistent games. So, like, give them to 3 different players, or 3 different referees, or give them to 2 and 1. You know, mix it
It's
up.
not like a director directing a trilogy, is it?
Exactly. You don't have to have the same.
The
same
Klein
person.
joint.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh, that's the Klein trilogy of 2025.
You know, I hated his early work. I hated his later work.
Yeah,
I hate his work. I
Yeah,
reckon,
we were
yeah.
talking a bit before about it. I don't really like Oliver Stone's latest stuff.
Yeah.
I don't really like Ashley Klein's.
But the grand
Stuff.
final's now on the Atkins diet.
That's
as it were.
right. They moved to the Atkins diet, which is all carbs.
Potatoes?
Yeah, well, you can eat all carbs. It's
Yeah,
all
right.
you can eat.
But what don't you eat then?
Fat and carbs. You don't eat. What don't they eat?
Anything with a heartbeat?
Yeah, no, I think it was like the Atkins diet. You don't eat, or maybe don't eat carbs. You just eat fat.
Well, yeah, and
That's
referee
it,
grand
yeah.
finals.
So you can eat the bacon and the avocado and everything.
Yes.
You can't have potatoes.
Oh.
That's the Klein diet.
Ah, that's the Klein diet, of course. That's how he got shaped the way he is shaped.
Yeah.
Ah, wonderful. Okay, I'm glad when things come full circle like that.
Yes, no. So now we're on the of course the
Atkins diet.
the Atkins diet, the full fat, and your body goes into
Very 2003, 2004.
very much so.
Yeah.
But they've renamed it basically, going into the what's the famous diet they got now? Your body goes into synetosis. No, it goes into basically you eat a lot of fat. And then your body does something, and then you lose weight.
Yeah, right. I remember my dad went on the soup diet, which
yes.
means you just eat soup and shit
Yeah,
continuously
yeah.
until you're a lower weight size than you were before.
You can just do the trots yourself until
Exactly. You
until
can do it
the
at home right now. Just go
weight-
out and lick some puddles outside your house.
until the weight falls off. It's a very simple diet. Really,
Bam, and the dirt is gone, as they say.
yeah, yeah. Diets have always. Well, I can't think of what the new fad diet is called, but it's the Atkins diet effectively.
Oxycodone. No.
Yeah, basically it's also the one they've got the medication that you can just take now.
Yeah, the
that's,
pill, the magic pill.
the magic pill. That's like the diabetics medication
Yeah,
that you can take now.
well, like
So-
that girl.
Oh, Ozempic.
Ozempic,
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank
thank
you.
you.
It was eluding
Thank you,
me
Mr.
as
Giphy.
well.
Yeah. So Ozempic you can just take now, and then you lose weight, but also then you sort of look like you're ill, like your face sort of
I think
droops
you
down.
kind of shoot yourself on Ozempic.
Then you shoot yourself on Ozempic.
It's got to go somewhere, right? It
Look,
doesn't
it
just
has to come-
disappear.
It has to come out.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd really hate to be those surgeons that were, stomach stapling all those people, and now there's just, of course, the diabetic pill that you can take, and then you can skip the surgery and just shit yourself for about 4 weeks and lose all the weight.
Oh, do you just convert all the stuff that you lose weight into like Instagram followers? Is that what
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to film it. You have to take a photo of yourself before, which is just yourself being incredibly fat, just facing the mirror going, "Ugh."
Yeah.
And then a photo after, you get a fake tan, and then you look really red. You go, "Argh."
See, it's basically the world always stays the same. We used to grow up watching before and after photos all the
Yeah.
time, and ever staying at home watching
Yeah.
Whose Line Is It Anyway after Barney the Dinosaur. You get tons of infomercials.
Yeah.
And then now it's the same. Before after photos. Then that's what we still like.
Well,
It
that's
sucks.
what we used to see it on like Who magazine, People magazine.
Oh, yeah.
Magazines don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Not even Rugby League Week exists anymore.
No.
Now we just have online scandals and whatnot, and people gaining or losing weight upon
in the ads below
Yeah.
the things that we're trying to click on.
Yeah.
All the Fox Sports websites full of typos and ChatGPT out the yin yang.
Exactly right. Yeah, ChatGPT writing all the articles now. If you look at anything Fox Sports clickbaity, it's basically the title repeated, the title summarized.
Yeah, no.
And
All it's
then-
missing is the hyphens and the emojis.
That's all.
And just to give away the game entirely.
That's all it is. You're clicking for the hyphens. I've been saying it for
Exactly.
years.
You know, the telltale hyphen. You didn't think. Maybe that's how they factored in AI, just to make sure we still know
Yep.
hyphens.
Hyphens.
That's why we see all these hyphenates running around in the two dads all throughout the league.
Yeah.
AI.
You know how everyone talks about Joey shouldn't be an immortal. Yeah, there's always a campaign. Oh, the eighth immortal. People go, oh, he shouldn't have been an immortal. And then there's been since about 5 more immortals. No one talks about them because everyone says, "Oh, Joey, the eighth
How
immortal."
quickly immortality became yesterday's news.
Well, do you know what the immortals came from, Sam? It was from Rugby League Week. Now that
yes.
magazine has been defunct for about 8 years.
Yeah.
And for the 3 years that it was running before it was defunct, no one was reading it. I used to read it back in about 04 through 06 when it actually, meant something.
Yeah,
And that's,
I used to get one at Easter. The thing is, Easter you get a magazine. It was just like the parents saying, "We're not giving you presents for Easter. You get a
chocolate.
book,
You get a book. You
a
get
floppy book."
Have a read.
It's got a poster in it.
Yeah, it's got a lovely poster in the middle. You can take it out. You have to pull it, separate it from the staples that are holding onto it like grim death, and then you can put it on the wall.
Michael Slater I had growing up.
Did
Michael
you?
Slater on the wall.
Well, now we're moving.
Right next to my
a
P.
post-
Diddy
was
and
it
the
a
Kevin
poster
Spacey
or-
poster.
Was it a poster or was it actually Michael Slater?
Yeah, Michael Slater was on my wall, yeah. He was in a lot of pain.
Any other sexual offenders you had on the wall at the time?
Exactly. It turned into somewhat of a shrine.
But now a defunct magazine shouldn't be really in charge. These people writing the magazine shouldn't be in charge of who's the immortal, who wasn't. But apparently at the time it was, and it's been moved on to another board or body that's apparently far more important than those journos tapping away at the typewriter.
In boxing they had the Ring Magazine belt, which used to be the belt where everyone, because Ring Magazine wasn't affiliated with anyone, and
That's boxing, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah, boxing. And boxing had the alphabet soup of all those belts going around, the WBC,
Yes.
the AOB, and all that kind
Intercontinental
of stuff.
and
all that kind of stuff. And then, so Ring Magazine was the one cutting through all the bullshit. So if Ring Magazine said you were the best in the world, you were the best in the world. And then Oscar De La Hoya bought it, and now it's completely
Now it's
defunct,
gone.
but it's still around. It's like the Ring Magazine belt, but it's just another one of the alphabet soups.
Oh, the belt still exists,
Yeah.
even though the magazine no longer does. Just like the Immortals.
Yeah, no, they tried to buy, credibility.
Something.
And then once you buy credibility, it disappears, like
Disappears.
fairy floss in a raccoon's hands
through
in a
your
puddle.
hands. One thing that's exciting about when it's grand final time, and it is grand final time,
Yes.
that cricket is just on the horizon.
Yeah.
And we can
Good old
start
cricket.
we can start coming together rather than being all of these club sides, besides New Zealand, of course, over there, the Warriors. We can come together and all support Australia. And we all a common enemy that we hate, England. Which is nice.
Yeah,
It's
it's
all
nice. Very
to-
nice. I'm looking forward to the unity.
It's nice to come together. Doesn't matter which state you're from, and say, hey, we all hate England.
Exactly. Let's get in the sun and scream at the oppressors.
Stand there in the sun, all get burnt, drink some light beers, and scream at the people coming over to fight for the ashes. The tiny, tiny little trophy. But now we're talking about the big trophy.
Yeah, the big one.
The Norman Summons.
2 men on it. So big it can hold 2 men.
For so long I thought it was a man and a child. No, I didn't.
Is that the baby or the future of rugby league? Is
I
that what you
didn't know. I
thought?
thought it was a child running up to a man on the Proven Summons trophy. I thought it was.
So you thought it was Proven summons a small child?
Yeah, I thought it was I thought his name was Proven Summons, and he was hugging just
So
a
not
fan.
Proven verb, a small child.
Yeah. Yeah. So he summons
Yeah, he summons a small child.
a small child. Yeah. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, right.
And so we found ourselves here with these 2 Queensland dominant sides, with Brisbane Broncos, Melbourne Storm. This does remind me of 06. Can you remember watching the 06 grand final?
I can. I do remember. It was one of those Darren Lockyer having the perfect year of his life, and no one would
Yes.
stop him having the perfect year of his life.
Yes, of course, because he won the Queensland Origin.
It
for
was the
first
redemption
time.
year. The scriptwriters were in.
Yes.
And Darren was getting every toy that everyone. Because remember later he went into I think we played New Zealand in a try series or whatever, and he scored the winning try and the decider.
Yeah,
and
he
that
was
as
doing
well.
everything at that
It was
point.
absolutely bullshit. The
Yeah.
whole year, that was Brett Hodgson throwing him a gift.
Yes.
There was that.
That
and
was
then
still
that. It was
around the same
absolutely
time that
disturbing.
he'd only been playing 5/8 for such a short period that people were still saying he should go back to fullback. He was the best fullback. He was
The reverse Kalen. I think.
the reverse Kalen, of course, and he still had a little bit of hair going. But his voice was still sounded like a 65-year-old man.
Yeah, exactly.
That had been smoking a
and
pack
me
a
and the
day.
larynx will do that to a man.
Yeah. So he still had the bad throat. Still has the bad throat today.
No, just can't get rid of that cold.
And maybe just big, and you just clear it out. Hey, Darren, have you tried and just really clear it out? Not sure if he has.
No.
It's just something that's been tickling him for the last 20 years.
Exactly.
But he was everything at the time, and
Yeah.
even in 05, it was still the we had the opportunity to have Darren with Joey as well in the Anzac Test
Yeah, that's
before
right.
Joey really
Well,
hung up the
yeah,
representative
05, the
boots.
league took a year off and put the Tigers and the Cowboys in the final. What the hell was going on?
Yeah, I
there?
don't know what
It
happened
was
in
like a gap
05.
year. It's
Yeah,
just like let the whatever happened. I don't
What
care.
happened to the Broncos in 05? But they were there. They were there in the prelim in 04, I think, against the Cowboys. So the Cowboys on the up,
Baby.
Broncos on the down, and it was It seemed to be a bit of a changing of the guard there, but then they took it back in 06. And it's interesting to remember because it seems like after the Storm in 99, when they won it, and then they went through 99 to 06 without being in another grand final.
Yeah, that's right.
And
yeah.
that's an odd time for rugby league to have a longer period with not seeing the Melbourne Storm.
Tell you
back.
who won a grand final in that time, Naggy.
Yeah, I can think of one club.
Yeah. So that right there shows me best era ever.
Sydney Roosters. No.
Out the door, mate. Get out of here.
Of course, it was the Newcastle Knights to upset the Sydney Roosters Broncos, handing the premiership trophy to each other.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
well.
Yeah, another great circle jerk. That was
Yeah,
the best
yeah.
circle jerk.
Yeah.
I liked that circle jerk.
And-
This circle jerk we got currently. I like the Panthers.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
the Melbourne Storm coming into this final as well, and we remember grand final last year in 2025. Coming up against the Panthers, and there was a little bit of that. Oh, can they upset the Panthers once again? Can the Panthers overcome their demons? But again, you got this sort of the Melbourne Storm were always there, but also they're not quite always there. They're there repeatedly enough so you don't appreciate them whatsoever.
No.
But at the same time, they
It's so annoying. they got a couple of X nights on there.
yeah.
I find the Storm currently, and it sounds weird to say this, more likable than Brisbane.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Is it the Josh King factor, the Nick Meaney
Josh
factor?
King, Nick Meaney,
Yeah.
Cameron Munster amuses me.
Yes.
Paper House, Mr. Pappenhausen,
Yeah,
I don't mind him.
Paper House. Yes.
Jerome Hughes, couldn't hurt a fly.
He's one of the most likable halfbacks.
Harry
around.
Grant seems a little bit like.
He's a bit gun.
But that's okay.
That's all right.
The other pack of cigarettes, the son of the pack of cigarettes on the bench.
Of course, Mr. Wishart.
Yeah, Utakamoto seems like a nice fellow.
Always
Met him,
seems like
he's
a
nice
lineup
guy.
of talent at the Storm when
Yeah.
you have you just see Jerome Hughes is now into his 30s and he might go to the Bears or the same with Munster. He's moving in, and then they're like, well, who's got to come? You got Pezzett, Wishart ready there
Yeah.
at the Wims, and you got maybe Pappenhausen going over to 360
Yeah.
with the rugby union
Oh,
competition
yes,
potentially.
yes,
I don't know
yeah,
if he will or will not,
yeah.
but then it just seems like there's always this queue of talent coming through Melbourne Storm.
Well, Queensland runs through Melbourne.
They run through. That's the vein. That's their dick vein.
Exactly. They dug deep and too greedily underground and bypassed New South Wales entirely.
Brisbane is the brain, and then and then their penis vein is Melbourne, and it just sort of goes around. If anything, New South Wales is the stomach.
The carotid urethra pipeline.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, that's how I
So
think
who's
of
the
it.
big head and the little head?
The big, well, if you ask Brisbane, they think they're the big head. But you
Yeah.
ask Melbourne, they're leading the show.
Yeah, exactly. That's always Melbourne's way. They're always in an argument about who's on top.
Yeah.
It's like,
Two big heads.
I think it's only the second time, being 06 being the first, that they've come together in a grand final.
Yeah,
I don't think
definitely.
they've ever.
I've seen the highlights about 500 times this week, so I guarantee you're right.
Yeah, and of course we had quite a good retirement in 06 for the Broncos when they won it with the likes of Shane Webke retiring.
Oh, yeah.
And could hold up the trophy with Darren Lockyer and say a goodbye.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
we also had people like
Fridge and Freezer was hanging around for. He went to Penrith,
he
didn't he?
kept going for ages.
He went to Penrith as well.
Yeah, 2010. I don't think he retired too.
Yeah.
So but I think there was of course Darren Lockyer went to 2011.
Your
I think.
Berrigans and your.
Well, even in the Storm side, we had Scott. What's his name? Not Glenn Scott.
Matt Scott.
The 5'8".
Oh, Mark Guy.
No,
Matt Guy.
No, he kept going. The 5'8". He played for New South Wales for a bit. And we'll
Scott Hill.
Scott Hill, thank you very much. Scott Hill was there in the Storm, and it almost seemed like his swan song. But then he fell
Did he
at
ever play the
last
night,
hurdle.
Scott Hill?
I don't think so.
He feels like a guy we would have picked up. He's
Yeah.
completely busted.
Yeah, it feels like they'd be like, he goes, I want to retire. And they say, how about a couple more years at Newcastle?
Yeah, exactly. When he's like,
Certainly-
I'm going to retire, and Newcastle's just like, they may be on the line right now.
It certainly would have been the time. Of course, we've seen two other grand finals from Brisbane in the failing attempts in 2015 and then again in 2023 when it was snatched away from them by the Penrith Panthers.
yeah, that was wonderful.
And it was wonderful.
Yeah,
to
that's
see.
the thing. That's you can tell how much you dislike a club when you think about those heartbreaking defeats, and you feel
Yeah.
nothing.
And
you
you
feel
gotta-
literally nothing.
You do have to feel for the Brisbane Broncos supporters, and I don't often do.
Okay.
But when they are looking at just grand final highlights as we come into this part of the season, you just see their
Cleary
two
comeback.
grand final losses
18
repeated again and again in the obviously the Ben Hunt drop, the Jonathan Thurston field goal. And then, of course, the Nathan Cleary try coming back from 16 points down. It's got a sting because both of those games you think they would have thought, we've done it. And it was snatched away from them. So is this their time, Sam?
Well, they've come back from 2 things they should not have won, both games.
Yep.
And I really do think they're just going to dog walk Melbourne. I think Melbourne have a ceiling that's about here.
Yep.
And then if you crack them,
They're
then
done.
you'll run right. And especially on a big game like that, not 40-0, no Cameron Smith, Manly shenanigans, letting old Beaver Menzies off to get the human victory cigar to come out there and have a crack. But I think Brisbane will actually do it pretty easy.
Do you think this is also a chance for Ben Hunt 10 years later? Is this the greatest rugby league story?
Frankly, I'm worried about the man.
Just keep kicking it to him every night. That's the theatre I'm after. Actually, yeah, I'll hate watch this match, but I will look forward to every kickoff.
For Ben Hunt possibly to drop it
Just
again?
to see. I just want to see the nerves, and I want to see the lengths they go to try and find him.
Also, if they just kicked him, even off the kickoff, and he catches it,
The pop.
the cheer would be amazing.
It'd be huge.
It'd
I
be like
think
they
there's
won
going to be like a groan every time the ball goes up towards him.
a- Yeah.
We better have Ben Hunt cam. Channel 9 better pull the finger out and get some Ben Hunt cam.
It must be weird because I don't think any player from that team that Ben Hunt played with 10 years ago is still playing in the Broncos now. I think he's playing with a completely new Broncos
Yeah, they are
team.
a young bunch of boys. I
And
think so.
I don't think there's anyone there.
No, I
so
think you're right.
it'd be weird coming back into a team that wasn't there, and he'd be even saying, "Guys, I'm doing this for you," and they're saying, "Who?" Like they said, "Who are you?"
I was 8 years old when you did that.
I was in school. I
I
remember.
was thinking about being outside.
I was jumping on the trampoline when you dropped that.
I know. Ever since I moved the day grand finals, hadn't been able to stay up for one. Big Dog put me to bed about half time.
If there's an 18-year-old out there playing, they wouldn't even remember it. They wouldn't be competent. They would. They would just be. I remember I shat myself and vomited for all the moments of the grand final. That's right. I was 6 months old.
Yeah, exactly. Not to mention that, as social media has pointed out, there's quite a lot of blues in this damn team. They would have been 8-year-olds, not even watching the bloody
Not even
thing.
watching it.
Bloody North Queensland versus Brisbane grand final. I'm going to play Legos.
That's all they would have cared about at the time. So it's interesting to see how much of a team changes, but also what rugby league remembers as the supporters. Can Ben Hunt do it? I think he probably can do a decent job, and they also will give him the Clive Churchill medal, just because that seems like such a rugby league story.
Yeah.
Just to be like, oh, redemption.
The fix is in, you reckon, Naggy?
I think the fix is in. I think potentially the fix has been in all final series to give to Brisbane. Look what they've done. Snatched it away from Canberra, snatched it away from Penrith. Another snatch is on the cards.
Another snatch. Triple snatch.
The snatch.
The triple snatch. It's never been done.
This hasn't been done. And for the Storm, again, no one's really cheering for them. People from Melbourne have never seen them before.
No,
in
they
their
didn't know.
lives.
Like, oh, well, we won that game again. We always win in the preliminary final. Our send-off match of the year, and then something happens.
So but the last time they won was in 2017. Is that
2020.
then? 2020. They won in 2020. And then they beat Penrith in 2020. Before
Pissed
that
them
was
off so bad that they
was-
just won everything for the next 4 years.
in 2017, and before that was 2012. Is
And
that
then
right?
the dark times with
Yeah.
the stripping and
It
the,
just-
the
and then,
salary
of course,
cap and the bump
They're,
bump.
they're there and other times, in like 2016 and again last year. So they keep popping up, but
Yeah.
can they actually come through? You think if Melbourne Storm lose this, do they get a little bit of a choker's tag?
Oh, yeah. Well, surely at some point. I mean, to be fair, it's hard to give anyone a choker tag when you're living in the
they're so
Panthers
consistently-
dynasty.
Yes, yeah.
Like when you're living in a dynasty, it's like, oh, you guys choked. Like you guys choked against the 4-time winning, like the absolute dominant Panthers team. But it's just like they're just like the final boss. Like in the UFC or in fighting, they call it like a gatekeeper.
Yes.
that kind of like
They're the
boss,
the final
at
boss you got to beat, the
Yeah.
rugby league boss. You're
Yeah.
up against the Melbourne Storm.
And exactly, but you lose to the boss, you just hit reset and have a scream and go outside, and that's what happens. Except they give him a premiership, they give him the trophy to take home.
Do you think Atkins or Klein would have been a better result for Brisbane or the Storm?
Well, ball in play favours Brisbane.
Yep.
and Atkins was a big ball and play man.
Yep.
And Mr. Klein got done for giving, what was it?
Too many penalties. 14 penalties or something
yeah,
ridiculous.
exactly. And especially with the
2016 numbers of penalties, yeah.
yeah. And it's just like that stop-start thing, Melbourne will just, they're happy
Eat
to
you
beat you
alive.
2-0 and just, laugh at you. Like, enjoy the 40-metre line, bitches. That's pretty much their life.
So I think Ben Hunt for the Clive Churchill if Brisbane win, and I
I'll
think...
say that about the Panthers game. Like, Brisbane just, especially 40-20s and whatever, there's a reason why they have so many. It's just anyone in that bloody team can kick that fucking thing. It's, ridiculous. Reece Walsh, Ben Hunt, even Ezra Mann can pop up and do stuff. Now that I think they've finally figured out how good they actually are, I think it's curtains for the Storm.
I also agree, but if the Storm wins, I think they're going to give it Clive Churchill to Jerome Hughes. I think with their broken arm, broken wing, I think that's going to say...
You're really going for the hallmark Clive Churchill, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's all it goes to. I think it's just the one that the people want to give it to. Sure, it'd be Munster, but he has to do a lot. Sure, it might be Reece Walsh, but he has to do
Munster's got
much.
the recently passed dad.
Yeah, true, the past dad. I didn't think
But he got
about that.
Origin, though.
Yeah, true, he
just
won
got the
Origin. He
past
already
dad
had that
and-
chance.
Unless
So-
his mum dies, nothing.
He's only got one more parent to give. So I
At
think
least a sibling.
and Reece Walsh drinking the toilet water and punching his maid. I think
Does not a Disney movie make?
I think they just less Reece Walsh the better behind the microphone. They give it to a stalwart like Ben Hunt.
Yeah.
But as we said, everyone's favourite Jerome Hughes might be also a good option to
Also,
say.
Payne Haas, I feel if the Storm do make an absolute struggle and drag it out freak show thing, it feels like Payne Haas doing one of this, being the last guy back, savage. He'll have enough hero moments.
Yeah.
I think Payne Haas might get his flowers.
Potentially, you might get them,
Flowers.
and very well deserved flowers.
The Clive Churchill flowers. You get it off his grave, and they bring it to you, and he gets those.
It's not going to be our favourite grand final, Sam, but it will be a grand final that we'll all be watching, and
Yes.
hopefully you'll be watching along with us in spirit. But we thank you for joining us for another year of the Joust. And not only will we be back next year, but also keep an eye out over the Christmas period where we may or may not, but probably may, we'll join you for some wonderful Christmas films. So thank you for joining us for another show, another year. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Adam, also
you,
known
Liam.
as Mr. Sad Kid Giphy. Pom and Liam as well. And we're going to catch you next year. But before next year, we'll hopefully see you around Christmas time. But to play us out, of course, is our musical guest, fresh from his tour of the Tasman Sea. It gives me a great pleasure to welcome once again Mr. Sad Kid Giphy.